Now this one is going to sting. अभी तक इस चैनल पे मैंने कई लेजेंड्स की बात करी है, लेजेंड्स जिनकी इम्पोर्टेंस हमारे चाइल्डहुड, हमारे ग्रोइंग अप ईयर्स पे बहुत रहा है. बट दिस पर्टिकुलर लेजेंड इज डिफरेंट. दिस लेजेंड इज डिफरेंट बिकॉज दिस लेजेंड वाज देयर एट माय ओन होम एंड चांसेस आर कि ये आप लोगों के भी घर पे या तो था या तो अभी भी होगा. What makes it even more sad for me is the fact that this legend was there at my home in its original form, the first generation, the first lot that rolled out. इतना मैं सल्क क्यों कर रहा हूं, ये चीज हमें समझ में आएगी थोड़ा लेटर इन द एपिसोड. Till then, arguably the most influential car in the country, arguably the greatest ever. A car that was so recognizable that it became the entire brand by itself. मैं हूं संग्राम and this is the legend of none other than the Maruti Suzuki 800. The Maruti Suzuki 800 was produced in India between 1983 and 2014. Widely regarded as the most influential car in the country, almost 29 लाख 800s प्रोड्यूस की गई थी, जिसमें से 26 लाख से ज्यादा सिर्फ इंडिया में बेची गई. Produced for 31 years, it remains second in terms of production next to only the Hindustan ambassador. Technically, I don't agree with this. Again, I'll tell you a little later why. मारुति की कहानी शुरू होती है संजय गांधी से. Before his unfortunate death in 1980, Sanjay Gandhi wanted to get into the automobile business but was unsuccessful. A year later, his mother, Sonia Gandhi, wanted to fulfill his dream of creating an indigenous Indian vehicle and formed the Maruti Udyog Limited. On October 2nd, 1982, a joint agreement was signed with Suzuki. Right from the 1980s, the name Maruti became synonymous with the 800. It remained the best-selling car in India until 2004, when the crown was overtaken, of course, by Lord Alto. 800 कई सारे South Asian countries में भी export की, for example, Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka. It was also exported to Morocco and selected European countries, and in countries में it was sold as the Maruti Suzuki. The original 800 was based on the Suzuki Fronte. Suzuki Front, one of these two. The original 800 was based on the Suzuki Fronte, and a later model was introduced in 1986 which was based on the original Alto. The introduction of this car revolutionized the automobile industry forever. It was the first people's car that came into the country, the first front-wheel drive, high-speed contemporary car, and also the first reasonably priced modern car for the audience.
Yeah, boy.
Initial ownerships के time पे there was a lottery system that came into place. अगर आपने गाड़ी बुक भी कर दी थी, तो your ownership was dependent on a lottery. उसके बाद भी जब लोगों ने बुकिंग्स पूरी तरह से खुल गई, आपकी गाड़ी के आने के बीच में there was almost a waiting period of 3 years that you had.
Jesus Christ, that's a long time.
Okay. थोड़ा deep, भारी वाला part आ रहा है, जिसके बारे में मैं बात कर रहा था. The cars produced during the early years were essentially Suzuki OEM components that came in directly from Japan and were just assembled in the Gurgaon factory. You understand what I'm saying? The original 800s are basically Japanese K cars with Suzuki engines that are running on the road. Production line तो इसके बाद में खुली है, Maruti Suzuki engines तो इसके बाद में बने, इसीलिए तो मैं इतना सेल कर रहा हूँ. ओरिजिनल जापानीज की कार मेरे घर में खड़ी हुई थी और कुछ नहीं कर पाया मैं उसके बारे में. गाइस, इफ यू हैव देम, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट दे आर. मेरा रोना चलता रहेगा, बट या, मूविंग ऑन.
Okay, if you're so sure.
आफ्टर अ फुल मॉडल चेंज इन 1986, 800 में थोड़े छोटे मोटे फेसलिफ्ट्स आते रहे, but it essentially remained the same car. It produced 37 brake horsepower and ran on 12-inch wheels. Maruti Suzuki also launched a 12-valve 45 bhp engine which came with a 5-speed transmission which is similar to the one that is seen in Alto today, पर 2 सालों बाद वो discontinue कर दी गई. क्यों? Because obviously 45 brake horsepower was too much for the consumer to handle. Maruti Suzuki began phasing out the 800 in April of 2010 because they did not want to upgrade it to Hard Stage 4 and Euro 4 emission norms क्योंकि already Alto यहाँ पे थी. Now again, जब मैंने पहले ये बोला कि it is the second most produced car in the country, I don't think it is second, I think it is definitely the first because Alto and 800 are basically the same car. Alto came with the same engine. Alto के 10 तो उसके बाद में आया है. Maruti Suzuki essentially had two cars which were the same unit. Of course, because 800 had such nostalgia wala factor, had such recognizable wala factor, and was a little bit cheaper. It was a little more easy to get, but the Alto obviously was just an upgraded version of it. And as I said before, the 800 was based on the original Alto. Even आज की date में the 800 is being produced. It is just in a new skin. It just has a new patch. The last Maruti Suzuki 800 rolled off the production lines on April 18th, 2014, marking the end of an era. Or was it? मैं वही गोल एक ही चीज में घूमते जाऊंगा. But the essence of the entire conversation is, yeah, these absolute legends. मतलब क्यों? Why don't we value these pieces of arts? बाहर चले जाओ यार, लोग इतनी पुरानी गाड़ी अच्छी तरह करके रखते हैं यार. बहुत ज्यादा पुरानी गाड़ी हमने बचा के रखी हुई है. But we don't understand the value of these gems. Guys, again, I'm saying the original 800 is a piece of art. आज के डेट में थार का वो पीछे का ग्लास पैनल खोल के हम लोग सोचते हैं वाओ, ओरिजिनल 800 की जाके डिक्की खोला. तो फर्स्ट कार जिसका ग्लास पैनल अलग खुलता था, पूरी डिक्की अलग खुलती थी. इट वाज, आई थिंक, द फर्स्ट कार जिसमें मैंने गाड़ी चलानी भी सीखी है. आई हैव दिस मेमोरी सो क्लियर. मेरा रोना कभी बंद नहीं होगा इस बारे में, बिकॉज देयर इज अ वॉइड इन माय हार्ट व्हिच कैन नॉट बी फुलफिल्ड. बट गाइस, whoever has this opportunity, take care of your cars, be vigilant on roads, drive safely, drive carefully, and take care of your machines. And also like, subscribe and comment. Tell me about the legends that are there at your house.